Hit the button.
Like that.
The only- All right, I call to order Richland Township monthly board meeting for May 12th, 2026. You had a packet delivered. You have also a paper copy in front of you. Especially an opportunity to review. You have the minutes from the May 14th, 2026 meeting. An opportunity to review that. I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
Motion to accept.
A second by Bill. Bill's got a weak voice and he's got to listen close. All right, you've had an opportunity to read them. Any questions or comments? Additions? If not, we have a motion and a second to accept the minutes from the April 14th meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Michelle, you can sign that Dale right away. This is the pack to sign it. Dale, you and Bill can sign that, and then that is your copy for the records. Next item is the financial reports, audited financial reports for April 2026. We have key bank checking, key bank savings, and PNC, make that key bank checking, PNC checking, PNC savings, month-end fund balance, bank transaction ledger, and budget report year to date. I'll entertain a motion to accept those. We'll go through them and come back with any questions. Motion to accept by
Motion.
Michelle, second by Dale. All right, first item is the key bank checking. You'll notice the bank reconciliation report, it is in balance. $400,043.60. If you have any questions, jump in, otherwise we'll come back on them. Next item is the PNC checking, which you will notice we have finally got the tax money being deposited into that account. We have checks now for that account, and we're up and running. So working on payroll based on that material. So we have a bank reconciliation report, $30,163.50, and you have the bank statement there showing that as well. The bank savings account and reconciliation report, $2,500.03. Statement is in balance. Any questions on the statements?
Nope.
Next item is the funds ledger. And thanks, Michelle, she actually pointed out to me. Found out we had to have a township funds report, township roads account. And I said, we didn't have a resolution. She said, you already have one from Tom's Web. So that account is zero. That is a new account. Rainy day fund sits at $27,734. Township fund $367,106. Donations non-reverting $7,655. Township assistance $21,770. EMS non-reverting $27.99. Fire equipment debt $1,368. You'll notice down you have cum fund, and there's a cemetery conveyance fund number of 2,500. That is the fund that we opened last month to be able to accept money from the Richland Township Cemetery Association. That money has to be spent out for mowing and maintenance on that fund. I actually made the deposit yesterday. I picked it up from Bill. The final check, I can't remember, it was $4,800. So that is all up and going. Payroll deductions, $1.48. Grand totals of $425,664.98. Any questions on the fund ledger?
Somebody hit that gas one?
Bank transaction ledger shows beginning balance, end balance, credits and debits. You'll notice there's income coming in on cemetery receipts. Those are previous, I want to use the word sales, but previous sales of the deed, not deed, it's a certificate to bury. And, they pay that, and we in turn pay belt services out of that. We are keeping track of that going forward to figure out, at some juncture, if we need to actually start making some money on the cemetery, but at this point, we're just covering it, so. Any questions on the check register? On the township fund balance, you see the budget reports there. I just go to the last column. Payrolls at 32%, anything at 32 or above is you have to look at. Everything else is right where it needs to be. For total expenses of 29%. Cash balance of 367,106.90. So we're coming into May, we're actually starting to get into the different purchases of things that we're taking care of. So that fund will be going down. Any questions on the April 2026 reports? There are no questions, and we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. You got the bullfrog.
Yeah.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item is the trustee reimbursement, mileage reimbursement. Or $129.85.
128 what?
On $129.85.
I don't think I have that.
Did you get that? You have date, start, finish, purpose. Actually, the state's looking at increasing that 49 cents. Been the same since 2021 or 22, I think. I'll entertain a motion to accept the trustee mileage report by Bill, second by Dale. Any questions or comments? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I included a letter from the Alexandria Monroe Library System. Of course, they've been here a few times over the years. They're under new management and they're looking for additional ways to increase funding. We've all been down that road on a number of occasions. What they're asking for is, and you've read it, they're asking for us to give a $1,050 donation, and they'll then in turn hand out 10 non-resident cards to residents. We are working with the attorneys, as well as I suppose the State Board of Accounts. Not sure that we can actually make a donation to the library. And even if we were, it won't solve our problem because we have residents and we have to do two different libraries. Rather, we're looking at, can we operate something like this through township assistance? We'd have to do an amendment to our township guidelines. Peers are looking at some of the codes that may be possible. Again, we're looking on the legal end of things. Then they would fill out a assistance form. They have to be resident, have to qualify, fill out the form, qualify financially with all the other different things. And they'd apply every year for that. And then we would have, we'd have the ability to do to the two different libraries and that sort of thing.
And make sure they live like in the township.
Yeah, when they fill out a township application, when they give me their address, I look it up, make sure it's in the, I have to look up most of my notes in the house. I make sure it's there, and then once I get the application, maybe we can actually do a drive-by. And they say they live by themselves, and there's 5 cars that are operational. That fixes the problem.
What's gonna happen? Anderson Library is gonna find out Franklin Lake Hill, I think it's in the Anderson Library system, aren't they?
I think one of them are tied.
They're in Stony.
I know they.
I think there's two state systems. I don't know. But yeah, and certainly if we were to do this, we would notify, students where our residents go. If they have a student in their school system, they already have a library card. So this is for residents that don't have a library card. And there's something that talks about the closest library. And again, that's where we're getting with all the lawyers on that. So, but we would notify certainly Anderson and Alexandria, whether we'd have to notify Franklin if they're a different system or not. And then that would be driven by how much money do we have in township assistance. The Alec library card's $105. I don't know what, I can't remember what Anderson is, but we would have the opportunity to say, we will pay the whole thing, we'll pay half, we'll pay 3/4. When we do rent, we don't pay 100%. When we do burials, we don't pay 100%. So that's all something that we would decide at that junction. So I'd hope to have a little bit more information. At one point when this first came around, we talked about, hey, maybe we do this through assistance. Well, that's what we're looking at. Any questions or comments? All right. So hopefully we'll have something on that for you next week or next time. Our next meeting is Tuesday, June 9th. And again, I make notice the July meeting has been moved up a week. We're usually the second Tuesday in July. We are going to be the first Tuesday in July. I will be out of town. And, I will be out of town, that's for sure. So we'll do that vote. So we move that to the first Tuesday of the month.
You want to have it ready?
And I remind everybody, if you're sick or something, we'll come pick you up in the ambulance and make you sit isolated so we get a vote taken care of. All right, territory report, Chief.
I got word late this afternoon that the ambulances, quote unquote, should be done sometime next week. We went up there last week, did the final inspection. There was some paint issues with both ambulances. Initially, it looked like just a couple of minor things, and we got them out the sun and kept finding more and more and more little issues that became one big issue. So they agreed to obviously fix all that. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll have to go back up and pick the ambulances. They're done, it's just some paint issues.
So yeah, it's just like cosmetic. Yeah. But that's good that they are like fixing that.
For the amount of money both territories or townships are spending is good.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have those in the next couple of weeks, and then it'll take roughly a week for a truck to get stuff on them, hopefully maybe less. Maybe by the end of the month we'll have at least one of them serviced.
Been a little busy this week.
We've been busy for a little while, pretty significant runs lately. We just got cleared from a big gas leak up in Alexandria with a bunch of evacuations and stuff. Our people were involved in the double homicide in Lafayette Township over the weekend. Multi-alarm field fire a couple weeks ago in Lafayette Township. So we've been busy. There's been some major incidents as well.
All right. Chief Hendrick, anything? All right, projects and purchases. You can say this all along. We are now in the springtime, working on the septic, getting that arranged and coordinated with the cement bids. Josh, you had a meeting with them? You had a meeting with them tomorrow? Yeah. That's all in progress and ready to go. We're past the nights where it was down to 32 degrees. So that should be happening. Mentioned Josh, I'd like to get that done here before September when we do our capital improvement plan going forward for next year. Our paint bays are being scheduled for the summer. They're actually working right now. We are clearing out the overhead. I don't even want to use the word storage. That would be too nice to say what that is up there. over the decades, stuff has just been put up there. And then it's been moved for heating and air conditioning, it's been moved for electrical, it's been moved for whatever. But a lot of stuff they're going through. We're working on boxes and boxes of township records, determining the best way to deal with that, whether the county can destroy it, whether we can digitize it, whether I can go in with Tim and pay for half a storage unit and, you know, get rid of those and put them in a secure location. So again, Brandon's, our paint contractor's hoping to have that scheduled in. I told him he has to give me a month in advance notice, but well, you know, he's got the same timeline. I want it done before the end of August. So. Talking with Chief about our capital improvement plan that we're looking, once we get past this round, we have to go 3 years out on that. And we've got some things that we're looking at and figure out how we're going to do that. So that has to be done in our budget process. I think it has to be done by in September. So we're good there. Any questions about projects, purchases? Chief, did I miss anything?
You say we're painting the bays. I thought we were supposed to do that, like, you say we're doing that in the summer.
We're doing that in summer.
Last month's minutes, I thought we were doing them next month. Is there something else?
We have to clear out, clean up, and
Like we did.
yeah, get it prepared, which is a mat.
Yeah.
We're getting a dumpster delivered tomorrow. So,
It's like 30 years or stuff.
yeah, I bet there's more than that.
Back to the seventies.
I knew that.
We found a whole box.
That's the 37, so.
Had a whole box of newspaper clippings. We'll hang on to that. We'll have Debbie look for you. So it is a lengthy process. If you haven't driven by at night when they got the lights on, we got some new lights up out here. It's pretty nice. I think I don't know if everybody got a text on it, pictures of it. All right, any open forum from the questions from the community? Jamie, anything? Josh?
Looking good.
I skipped over one area. So let's go back to open forum and then I'll go back to the one area. I forgot. Dale? Good? Bill? Any questions, comments? Michelle?
Yep, good.
I forgot to talk about the cemetery update. If you have not driven by the Richland Township Cemetery, Nelson Cemetery, you may want to take a look at that. We now are the official maintainers of that cemetery. And actually coordinating with Bill, Mr. Scott, he had worked with us getting the road gravel and cleaning up a bunch of things.
There's some stone over there.
Yep, and we've, I'm sure the fence between the cemeteries, the old farm fence was all busted up. That has been replaced. It may not be completely done, but it should be pretty close. He was getting close to it the other day, or Monday. And I've had 3 calls from the community, not asking about burials, because they can't sell anything there. But mentioning how good it looks, how nice it looks, which is what our whole thought is all along. We've got that sign up front. I have a sign sitting in the storage area for Steve to put up once we get the deed to the property that says, call this number for burial information. Then we'll put out a 4x6 glossy print card, you know, it says Richland Township Cemetery locations, and call these people. And I'm imagining we'll be able to generate a number of our Richland Township residents.
Is all the funeral homes gonna be?
As soon as we get that, I'm gonna go down to all the funeral homes with that when I notify them that we have increased the payment of our township assistance. So they'll get that. So we're making progress on that. The attorney within 3 or 4 days of our last meeting, we filed with the county courts to get that deed transfer taken care of. So that should be coming up here, I would imagine, pretty quickly. But the court system pretty quickly, that may be 3 months. Hard to tell. All right, sorry about that. Any other questions on the cemetery? You might take a drive out there. Looks really nice.
He was reset, he was working with me by there last week, I think. He was working over reset stones.
Yep. We've, the ones that are up on the little hill back to the knoll on Nelson that had been vandalized over the years, he has reset the base, drilled down, put rods in, put whatever the proper cement to hold them back up. It's looking really nice. And when I met with Bill yesterday, he was just as happy as it could be.
Are we the only township that's doing this? I know going up when we go to church.
I've had a couple people from other townships, not even in Madison County, call me because there are people that drive around, look at these old cemeteries all the time. And they'll call me and say, hey, you're fixing these all up? And it's been a process over the years. I actually know one person that went to, it's down by Martinsville, Morgan County. He went to the trustee meeting down there and said, why aren't you people taking care of our?
It's definitely forgotten about. There's a lot of trustees that don't even think that they need to like take care of that. Just keep it maintained.
Small.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much, with the exception of the Hartman Cemetery, have all the trees all removed. We're in the process of fence and gates. That'll be a couple-year process because now that I have Belt Services, I'm putting the money, because we were holding off that because then we figured that was going to be the biggest cost. We way overestimated what that cost would be, so I'm just keeping Steve busy getting all those done while we can. All right. Any other questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Don't need a second. Thank you for coming. I got some signatures needed from you gentlemen. And I need these 3 back.
So